Alright boys, welcome back to the Grand Cross video. Now, I know I've made a lot of ReZero videos, but allow me, this is like my most excited collab. I want to talk about it. You lot want to hear about it too, because all of you lot have been commenting on my videos recently as well, especially yesterday, where I got so much comments saying, yo, when is ReZero coming to Grand Cross on Global? So what I want to do today is trying to predict what date they could actually come out. Now, it's kind of like obvious, but I do have some rules and theories. I went digging. I did a lot of research in a sense to figure out what is the pattern, what have Netmarble done, what did they do to release it on Global like at a certain time, why did they pick these certain dates. And I think I have 2 exact dates, and to be fair, we'll know a week or 2 in advance, because, well, they might confirm it in the dev notes, which is coming up very, very soon, by the way. And yeah, let's just jump into it. So, boys, before we start, I gotta say, if you are new, definitely subscribe. If you can hit that like button too, it does let me know you lot enjoy these videos, and it also helps the video get out there. More people want to see these videos, so yeah, definitely hit the like button. But yeah, boys, let's just jump in. Okay, so I think the big question to ask is, why are we getting ReZero now? Why has it been leaked on JP for the past 2 months now, coming up to 3 almost? Why are you getting it now? Now, I do believe the actual answer is very obvious, and it's because, well, the season finale is happening. Now, if you don't know, if you're not watching ReZero, the last episode is next week, and the massive important day, and it could be a massive coincidence, but I think not, is the fact that we are getting the update, I guess the actual release of the collab on the 25th, but the season finale is on the 24th. So once again, you probably figure, well, that's 1 day apart. That's just a coincidence, but you got to realize, well, we are going to be getting a stream collab. We should be getting a collab update or a collab stream like we did with Lolly Merlin and Escanor and also Salt Mediolas the day before the update, which should be the Wednesday. So on the 24th, not only is the actual anime going to end, we're also going to get the reveal and the actual, I guess, the live stream of the actual banners and characters. So I do believe, well, that's the reason, right? They have to do that. Not to mention as well, someone left a comment, and I do think this one might be a coincidence, but I think not. Subaru's birthday is on the 1st of April, and the banner will be here for the 1st of April, so that could be a massive coincidence. Subaru isn't even a character, so there's no reason to do it for his birthday, but that's just 2 massive big plot days that just it seems possible. That's why we're getting the collab now. Okay, so what I think we should do before we start diving into the numbers is look at the facts. How long did it take for a collab to come over from JP to Global? So let's go over the first one, which was obviously the Tensura collab. This one, I don't know the exact date, but it took well over what, a year? I believe JP, when it came out on JP, it was very early on, and Global didn't even exist. So we're not going to talk about this one here. We're going to go over the first one, which is the Attack on Titan collab, which released both, or when it released, both Global and also JP existed. So let's go over it. So Attack on Titan on JP released on the 29th of June, and then Attack on Titan on Global came out on the actual 21st of July. So that was around 22 days, 3 weeks. Keep that in mind, because we're going to go over that later on. And then King of Fighters, these guys at the top, they released on the 24th of September on JP Grand Cross, and they came over to Global on the 26th of October, so around 32 days or almost 5 weeks, right? So you know, around 4 to 3 weeks, basically. That's how long they've taken. So you can easily say, well, we're not going to get next week. The max they've done, because they always kind of release it very, very close together, just from the evidence we've seen with these 2 collabs, they typically release between, well, 3 to, let's say, 5 weeks. Okay, so let's look at the dates when we get banners. Bear in mind, I've kind of gone this through already a bunch of videos, but on the actual 30th is the next banner update for Global. This is the 2 weeks after Salt Mediolas, and yep, this is confirmed to be Valenti. The reason why is because, well, they could, I mean, not could, there's a small chance they could do ReZero, but it'll be less than a week from JP to Global, which is that's mad. And not to mention, the only 2 banners we can get from JP now is obviously Lolly Merlin and also Mark II Valentine Eastern. If it was going to be Lolly Merlin, then we would have gotten Denzel literally tomorrow on the Tuesday. They've already confirmed what we're getting tomorrow, so we do know Denzel isn't coming. So yes, on the 30th, it's confirmed to be Valenti and, well, I guess Mark II Valentine Eastern. But then on the 13th, we could see ReZero. Now, the reason why is because, well, this will be after Salt Medi does leave, and there's a pattern that they love to do with collabs, and I'll get into a second. But let's say, for convenience sake, we did get Lolly Merlin. That means, obviously, on the 27th, which would be 2 weeks afterwards, we could see ReZero, but I'm going to say no. Now, the reason why, and why I said it could release on the 13th, is because you have a pattern. Now, bear in mind, you haven't done this on Global, for example. They do it mostly on JP. But if you go back and look at the dates and when an actual collab came out, a collab always comes out, at least for the last 3 now, and I don't think it's a coincidence at this point. The collab always releases after an actual festival leaves. So for example, we got Goddess Elizabeth. Then for the part 2, they got obviously Deanne and Draw. Then after Goddess Elizabeth left, they got the Attack on Titan collab. So obviously the massive festival ends, we get a collab. Now if you move down to obviously the King of Fighters collab, you can see, well, they got Wayne King and Dean Hendrickson. For their part 2, they got Awaken Lilia and Mono. But then as soon as King and Festival King and Hendrix left, they got the King of Fighters collab. Now, if you look again for Lolly Merlin came out, and then 2 weeks later, they got the actual Ozone Hawk banner, which is currently live right now. But then as soon as Lolly Merlin banner leaves, which is going to be on the 25th, right? If I go back, yes, 25th, we are going to get ReZero. So clearly, whenever they do collabs, they love to release it after the festival does leave, or they just won't release it during the part 2 of a festival. So right now, it's part 2. Which is kind of like the grace period a bit. So yeah, it's almost confirmed that, well, we can't get it on the 27th since they don't release it during the part 2 of a festival unit. But then this is where it kind of gets a little bit spicy, so hear me out here, and hopefully that'll make a lot of sense here. So since we can't get an actual, you know, the collab units or the collab banner on the part 2 of a festival, because they typically release it after the festival does leave, that would mean we have to get on the 11th. This is when Lolly Merlin would leave if she came out on the 13th, which would be around 6 weeks after the actual ReZero launch on a JP. That means we'd have to get someone on the 27th for Lolly Merlin's part 2 banner, and obviously during that time, by the time we actually get to the 27th, JP would have had 2 releases for characters, which would have been on the, I believe it's the 8th and also the 22nd. So wherever JP gets on the 8th or 22nd, if they were to release Lolly Merlin on the 13th and not release ReZero on the 27th, that means we have to get one of those characters, which is probably a little bit too close to JP, like almost like what, a few days. It could do, but it's just around 6 weeks for a collab is probably a bit too much for me. So I do believe ReZero will come out on the 13th. And I guess the last nail in the coffin is the fact that, well, the devs, they love to actually announce the collabs in the dev notes. And we already had a dev note this month, which was on the 3rd of March. Yeah, the 3rd of March for the 1 year anniversary. So we shouldn't see one, you know, until, let's say, 31st of March. 2 in a month, I don't think so. So they'll probably extend it by an extra week, which would probably be around the 7th or the 8th of April. So that is prime time to announce the collab, since, well, if it would come on the 13th, that would be a very good time to do it. And I guess the last bit and the date, we will know the exact date when ReZero is coming, is the fact that, well, on the 6th, we should get Denzel. If Lolly Merlin is on the 13th, that means the pre-anniversary like Eve will be Denzel, which should be the 6th. And yeah, that will kind of confirm it. So just look out for the 6th. If the 6th doesn't have Denzel, so what's it, after Valenti and Mark II East on the 30th, if we do not get Denzel the week afterwards, then it's confirmed that we are going to get, well, ReZero on the 13th. Now, bear in mind, they've already been leaked to Lolly Merlin and Denzel, so they definitely could wait, and they could break the rule. Bear in mind, like the rule that I've kind of set in place from what I've seen from JP is the fact that we don't get collabs for the part 2 festivals. So you never know, we could possibly wait 6 weeks, which would be a little bit too long. Wouldn't mind, because I get more diamonds, but I don't want to wait that long. I want to get it as fast as possible in global, and considering they're trying to speed things up a little bit more, I do expect this collab to be the fastest that we're ever going to see it from JP to global. So yeah, let me know what you lot think. Obviously, I've just laid everything out that I've been thinking, and yeah, the video took quite long to make. I did a lot of research. Like I said, there's no actual proof, but just the pants that we've seen from Netmarble in the last like year of playing the game, from how they release it on global to JP, this is like, I do believe the 13th is a very, very strong date. And I mean, it could break the rules. They always gonna do that, especially with collabs as well. But I do believe they're gonna announce it for part of the actual dev notes, which we're gonna see probably very, very soon. And yeah, stay tuned for more updates for ReZero when it does come out on the 25th, as well as the 24th, when we do get to see the live stream for the actual new unit. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you lot think, because I know you lot always think differently from me. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you lot think, and peace.